This is the Grigadean and Friends Spring Fling.
Hey, Fling, yeah.
I'm Pat Grigadean.
I'm Jerry Grigadean.
These are some of our friends here in our studio audience.
And in the TV land out there. Welcome, friends.
Welcome.
Glad you're all here also.
Well, we'd like to start out with doing a song for you that we wrote way back. It's one of the very first songs we ever wrote.
Back when we were still married, back in the early 80s.
That's right. When Jerry and I were first married, we started doing what we called cosmic research. Now, Jerry is about to define the word cosmic.
Later in the show.
Well, okay, later in the show.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, we did cosmic research, and one of the first things we decided to study was whether life can be easy or whether it has to be hard.
Yeah, well, first we tried a life of ease. And then we tried a life of struggle.
And here in the 90s, we're ready to tell you our findings, and that is that, yes, life can be easy, but you have to watch it, because if you're not careful, you can get fat. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fat Elvis Blues. Well, sometimes I think that I don't want to work no more. I don't even want to have to do the shopping at the store.
Yeah?
Everything that could be bought would be brought right to my door.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, sometimes I think that love is too much work.
Well, it's too much work,
I
huh?
get so tired of being nice. I think I'm gonna go for surf. I wanna be everybody's darling, even when I'm a snarling jerk. Sometimes I think that life would be great like that. Oh yeah, sometimes I think I want my life to be just like that. Oh yeah, they love me tender. That's when I remember Elvis got fat.
Oh,
Yeah, was the king of rock and roll.
he wasn't anything but a hound dog.
He had everything he wanted. He was the king of rock and roll.
He was still just a hound dog.
He was doing fine, but somewhere down that line he lost control. He had nothing left to win, so he had nothing to lose. Yeah, he could have kept on rocking and dancing in those blue
Don't step on my blue
suede shoes.
suede shoes.
But he was too far gone to dance. He blew his chance.
Whoa.
Now all that's left of those
Fat
fat
Elvis Blues. Elvis, boy, what happened to you? Yeah, I still love you, baby. But Elvis, tell me what happened to you? Yeah. Woo, yeah.
I thought you had it made,
Me
but
too.
when the last card was played, we all wound up singing those
Fat Elvis Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis, one of my true loves still. I don't care if he got fat. I love Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
Well, as I said, this is our spring fling, and here it is, springtime, a lovely time of year when.
Well, a young man's fancy turns to, well, an old man's fancy also turns to thoughts of love.
That's true. Thoughts of love. And you know, we would all, I guess that's universal, we all would like to love and be loved, but you know, there's a big catch with being loved.
Well, there's a catch. What's hard about, what's that?
You gotta love yourself first. Big deal.
Gross! Love yourself? Isn't that hard? Have y'all ever tried that?
There's gotta be an easier way, that's what I keep thinking.
There's bound to be an easier way.
There's bound to be. We can all wish for it anyway. I took my troubles down to Madam Ruth. You know that gypsy with the gold tattoo. She's got a pad at 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of love potion number 9.
Yeah, that's easier.
I told her that I was a flop with men.
Whoa.
It's been that way since I was 9 or 10. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. She said, what you need is love potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine and looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes.
She took a drink. Whoa!
I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. But when I kissed a cop down at 34th and
Whoa.
5, he broke my little bottle of love potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna mix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine and looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes.
She took a drink.
I didn't know it was the day or night. I started kissing everything inside. But then I kissed a cop down at 34th and Vine. He broke my little bottle
Yeah.
of love potion number 9. Love potion number 9. Love potion.
Number nine. Number nine.
All right.
I was sitting in my room late one night when I decided to attempt a little astral flight. I'd read all about it. I knew what to do and what a rush I'd feel if I really flew. So I lay down in bed. I was a little bit high. I started feeling cosmic by and by. I was seeing lots of colors like I'd read about. I began to say my mantra. I was ready to get out. I felt a little bit nervous, but mostly I felt good, and I wanted to project, but I doubted if I could. I tried to ooze out my pores and slip out my head. I tried to think myself out, but I was still in bed. So I asked for some help, like a call to the force. I said, is this the way out? Then I heard this guy's voice. He was formless and faceless, but by then I was too. He said, you're doing all right, but let me give you a clue. He said, come on with me, you can follow me out. Well, he seemed pretty cool, and I lost all my doubt. When I looked all around me, my eyes were closed, you recall. It was some kind of tunnel. I was having a ball. He moved pretty fast, but I kept up pretty well. I thought, am I ever gonna have a story to tell? I started thinking about that, and then he was gone. So I got up and sat down and wrote down this song. It's starting to get fuzzy, but the part I want to save is it's somewhere in that tunnel. We floated by a cave. Now the memory of it's fading, but the name clearly stays. It was the cave of all forgotten dreams and yesterdays. I'm gonna think about that till the next time I try, because one of these days I am gonna fly. And whenever I do, and it won't be long, I'm gonna sit down and write down another song. Well, this next song that we're gonna do for you is not a true story.
Well, let's pretend it's a true story.
Okay, we could pretend that. This is a story about a guy who works in a casino, like in Las Vegas, and he has the keys to the slot machine. You know, he could open them up anytime he wants to and get all the money out, but he doesn't. He just rather sits there and observes life and that kind of thing.
Perceptive observance. He notices what's going along and what's happening, and he notices that this kind of gambling place is a lot like life itself.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, if you want to listen carefully, the meaning of life or the secret of life is contained in the words to this song. So.
Well, I got to listen to those a little more carefully here.
I don't need to play the game. I got the keys to the slot machine. But I think I'll sit down and play a few hands for fun. There's winners here tonight and some who think they might be, but none of them can remember why they've come. Oh, I've seen them come and go. By now I think I know which ones are gonna stay just a little too long. They say that luck is bad and some get downright mad, but it's the only game in town where they belong. So they keep on playing, praying, delaying the time. They know that they all have to fall, and they keep on waiting, anticipating the card they know will turn their hand to gold. So they keep on playing. Sometimes they win, but the rush is in the playing, and they just come back again where they keep on playing. Sometimes they play too long, but it's the only game in town where they belong. But me, I just work here. I know it's all a game. This game ain't the one where I belong. But it's fun to pretend that I'll be winner in the end, or that I might forget and stay a little too long. So I'll keep on playing. Sometimes I'll win, but the rush is in the playing, and I'll just come back again where I'll keep on playing. And if they strip me clean, I've still got the keys to the slot machine.
Thank you.
Well, this is a story, and it might be true. It didn't happen to me, but it could happen to you. It's a story with a message so vile and obscene. It's the story of an insect who was big and mean. Billy, bad bug. Billy's mother was Mabel, and his dad was Harvey, and Billy started out just like the other larvae. But then what happened was a crazy fluke. You see, Billy was hatched right next to a nuke. Billy, bad bug. Well, we all know that nukes are safe and clean, but something made Billy grow up big and mean. He was 50 times bigger than your average bug. He was 90 times stronger and twice as ugly. Billy, bad bug. Billy was a bully right from the start. They said he had no conscience and maybe no heart. Well, I don't know if he didn't or he did, but when Billy came around, even hornets hid from Billy, bad bug. Billy got his kicks being angry and tough, and soon picking on insects just wasn't enough. Soon he was bullying cats and dogs, and then he moved right up to sheep and hogs. Billy, bad bug. He'd toss aside cattle like they were feather pillows. He terrorized horses and even armadillos. He pulverized a grizzly, just mowed him right down, and then Billy, bad bug, moved into town. Billy, bad bug. He was 12 feet tall, weighed 400 pounds. His antenna twitched. He made weird buzzing sounds. His wingspan alone was 30 feet wide, and everybody knew there was no place to hide from Billy, bad bug. So the folks called the sheriff, who called the National Guard. They thought that killing one insect couldn't be too hard, so they shot him with guns and rockets from planes. They could have saved their ammo, 'cause this bug's name was Billy, bad bug. They tried everything under the kitchen sink. They even tried raid, professional strength, but nothing could stop him or even make a dent. So they got on the phone and called the president about Billy, bad bug. They told him that Billy was a national menace. Them Russians must have sent him to use him against us. The president said, it's not exactly a war, but this is what the national defense budget's for. So safe in a shelter, decisive and calm, the president said, let's drop a nuclear bomb on Billy, bad bug. Well, the rest of the story's kind of sad to tell. You see, Billy got fried in a nuclear hell. Of course, there was a little damage to the folks in that town. In fact, nothing was left. For miles around, there was fallout, debris, atomic waste. The air and the water were nuclear laced. But Billy was dead. Yeah, that bad bug was gone. And I'll bet you thought this was the end of the song about Billy, bad bug. But bugs are resilient, and under what was that town, deep in a tunnel, way underground, lived a family of bugs led by Wilbur and Peg, and 350 little nuclefied eggs. So the story never ends, and it's a story that's sad. You see, Billy didn't ask to be born big and bad. So here's the moral. Let's have no crazy flukes. Let's all go solar and shut down the nukes in memory of Billy, bad bug.
Thank you. So, well, we'll have a change from this somewhat unusual realm of poetry, you might say. In fact, I'm very happy to say that Max Nofziger and Pat Grigadean now have something for us that is a sweet treat.
Picture you on my knee, just tea for two,
And two for tea, just
me for you, and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations. On weekend vacations, we won't have it known that we on a telephone, dear. Day will break and we'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for everyone to see. We could raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Whoa, can't you see how happy we would be? Day will break and we'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for everyone to see. We could raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Whoa, can't you see how happy we would be?
We're in the twilight zone. It's just you and me. We're in the twilight zone. At last we can see we're in the twilight zone. Between here and there, we're in the twilight zone. Between earth and air, we're in the twilight zone. At last we can see we're in the twilight zone. Baby, we're floating on clouds. We're flying through air. We're walking on thin ice. We're going where we're not allowed, and we don't care. We're in the twilight zone. They don't understand. We're in the twilight zone. I don't think they can from the twilight zone. It all seems so strange. We're in the twilight zone. All things are strange. We're in the twilight zone. If everything's new, we're in the twilight zone. In the twilight zone, you have to let go of the things you have learned. If you want to know just what is real and just what is not, then just to remember what you forgot. We're in the twilight zone. At last we are free. We're in the twilight zone. Baby, we're floating on clouds. We're flying through air. We're walking on thin ice. We're going where we're not allowed. We're going where we're not allowed. We're going where we're not allowed, and we don't care. We're in the twilight zone.
Thank you.
Well, this next song is another way of saying honesty is the best policy.
been faithful, and I'll always be true. You know everything, dear, that I think, say, and do. So if there's another, please take my advice. Tell me the truth and don't leave me to live in a fool's paradise.
A fool's paradise
May seem cozy and warm, and I'm in paradise when I'm here in your arms. The truth, it might hurt me, but I'll pay the price. Oh dear, if you love me, don't leave me to live in a fool's paradise. I know you're a free man that no woman can hold, but if you love another, I really ought to be told. To love you is heaven, and I won't ask you twice. Don't let my heaven turn out to be nothing but a fool's paradise.
A fool's paradise
May seem cozy and warm, and I'm in paradise when I'm here in your arms. The truth, it might hurt me, but I'll pay that price. Oh dear, if you love me, don't leave me to live in a fool's paradise. Yes, dear, if you love me, don't leave me to live in a fool's paradise. When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawn of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust with man.
Sympathy and trust, all right.
Also your vision, goals and living dreams and visions.
Yeah.
Crystal revelation.
Crystal.
And mind solution age of Aquarius. The moon is in the seventh house.
All right, yeah.
And Jupiter aligns with
Remember this song? singing out there. That was great sing along.
Well,
Thank you.
that's our last song for today. We'd like to thank you very much for coming here to our audience, and thank you
That's
in TV
right,
Land
out there
for
in TV Land.
watching us. If you would like to get on our mailing list or you'd like to send us a card, we would love to hear from you. Our address is now on the screen. Send it to Grigadean and Friends, and we would very much love to hear from
Yeah,
you.
communicate. We want to communicate and have a communication from you.
And keep your eye out for our next show, our summer special, which will be Grigadean and Friends in Paradise.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for that.
It's going to be an event, folks.
So thanks for being here.
Grigadean,
Grigadean, now it's time for us to go. Grigadean,
Grigadean,
Grigadean, we hope you like our show.
Yes, thank you. All right, yeah. Wonderful audience. Yeah, great show. All right, thank you.
I'm
Okay,
Okay,
that's it.
troopers, thank you. TV audience.
Thank you, Joyce. You're so artistic. That's the arty picture. Yes. Well, you got to say lunch, don't you, fella? Yeah.
Oh.
Where is That's great.
It's all over.
Oh, Jerry, you said you were going to define the word cosmic.
Yeah, but we're out of time. Let's do it on the next show.
Yeah, the next show.